Let's face it, Phase 4 of the MCU has been a suboptimal transitionary period for the franchise. It's no easy task to usher out the A-listers of the first decade of films, and most of the movies we've gotten to this point post-Endgame have shown just how difficult a task it is. To get you up to date in a hurry, here's my quick, extremely articulate review of the movies we've gotten to date in Marvel's Phase 4. Grab your thesauruses, folks. Eternals, boring. Black Widow, meh. Shang-Chi, meh. Spider-Man No Way Home, great. I don't make the rules, people. Those are just the facts. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. Going 1 and 3 to start the season is what's known in the sports world as not good. So my expectations were low going into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. At this point, with all the movies and Disney Plus shows that have been intertwined together to continue a soap operatic cohesive narrative flow, a lot of these movies feel like they're on jungle cruise control. In fact, a lot of the big action sequences are in production before a director has even signed on to the movie, which is pretty sad. So when they announced that legendary visionary director, Sam Raimi, would direct the movie, I just hoped that he would be allowed to put as much of his horror-loving fingerprints onto the movie as possible. The end result is a bit of a mixed bag. The movie excels when Raimi is allowed to be Raimi. There are some great sequences throughout the movie that bring horror elements and a surprisingly high level of violence that we have yet to see in an MCU movie. But it's obvious when the generic Marvel cues take over. Doctor Strange's own storyline is rather uninspired and unfulfilling, while Wanda steals the show and we get to see her unleash the full powers of the Scarlet Witch. The movie is about 2 hours long and I never found myself wondering when it was going to end, which is more than I can say for Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and especially Eternals. If you completely disagree, then please like this video and subscribe to my channel so you can continue to hate watch my terrible opinion of facts. Spoiler alert from here on out. If you haven't seen Doctor Strange 2 yet, then do not proceed unless you simply do not care. The first 20 minutes of this movie starts on shaky ground. Allow me to complain a bit before I talk about what I liked. We get an Alien from Edge of Tomorrow chase scene to open the movie, followed by Doctor Strange attending his ex, Rachel McAdams' wedding and pouting they couldn't make it work. Quick side note, has Sam Raimi not been to a wedding since Spider-Man 2? In both movies, an organ plays the traditional "Here Comes the Bride." Does anyone still do that? Seriously, it's the most unrealistic part of the movie. Strange has to come to terms with the fact that she's moved on in multiple universes, and no matter how much he loves her, she won't love him back. Riveting stuff, guys. I was on the edge of my seat wondering, will they, won't they? The wedding gets interrupted with a tentacle monster attacking America Chavez. Like, enough with the goddamn tentacle monsters already. Star Wars, Guardians 2, Doctor Strange 2. Why are these gluttonous globs the villainous crutch Disney keeps relying on? Do they do well with test audiences? And if so, who are these test audiences? Pornhub Premium subscribers? They're frighteningly uncreative and a dime a dozen. Quite frankly, the fights with monsters of any number of extremities in this movie are quite forgettable. America Chavez is introduced as someone that can travel between multiverses, and Doctor Strange and Wong invite themselves to protect her from Wanda, who has gone full Mad Mother murder mode and will stop at nothing to absorb Chavez's powers so that she can reunite with her two boys from another dimension. Chavez isn't given much to do other than play keep away. When she meets Strange and Wong, she's perplexed how there could be a Spider-Man. Really? You've been to over 70 universes and this surprises you? Or is it just another lame self-aware joke about the absurdity of a bug-themed hero that shoots webs? Yeah, that's it. Mr. Feige, Kevin, Bobby, I'm begging you. We are 14 years into this universe. The concept of super people, interdimensional travel, and alien beings are no longer a shocking concept to these people. Just try some different types of jokes. That's all I ask. But now we get to the good stuff. What does work, like I said, are the Raimi sequences. The chess match between Strange and Wanda is extremely well executed. Strange is having to throw everything he has at Wanda to keep her away, while she is constantly adapting to the situation. We see this first with the Order of the Phoenix making a wall of energy to keep Wanda out. She's stopped at first, but then goes back to the old reliable Jedi mind trick to cause chaos in the ranks. Strange temporarily traps Wanda in the mirror dimension, but she takes a cue from Kiefer Sutherland's mirrors and reaches through reflections to snatch victims away. She then contorts her body to escape. I really enjoy this chase. We see two powerful beings using their powers in creatively strategic ways, much akin to when Strange fought Thanos. I thought we were going to get a slew of different realities, but really, that part lasts a handful of seconds before we end up going from Earth 616, which is the reality of the original MCU, to what is labeled as Earth 838, which is governed by the Illuminati. These not Avengers consist of this reality's Baron Mordo, Captain Marvel, Captain Britain, Black Bolt, Professor X, and lo and behold, John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. Speaking for myself and the internet, we've been trying to will John Krasinski and Emily Blunt into the MCU, as Reed Richards and Susan Storm respectively, into existence. So it was great to see him. However, and I know he was only there for a few minutes, but he didn't come off as Reed Richards to me. He was much more affable and less calculated genius. Maybe it was just this version of Reed Richards and not 616's, but regardless, I'm interested to see what he'll be like in the inevitable Fantastic Four reboot. Wanda breaks into the building like the Kool-Aid woman and just slaughters the Illuminati. When she sealed Black Bolt's mouth and he inadvertently blew his own brains in, I was like, Jesus Christ, that was insane. She shreds Richards, crushes Captain Marvel, and chops Captain Britain in fucking half. Is this season 3 of The Boys? With all the previous Phase 4 movies playing it safe, this was a welcomed, completely unexpected change-up of what is possible in an MCU movie. Professor X throws a last-ditch effort by going into the astral plane with Wanda, where he tries to free her, but witchy woman Wanda snaps his astral neck. My goodness. Great work, Raimi. All these executions were as visceral and shiver-inducing as PG-13 possible. Strange eventually possesses a zombie Strange and creates a cape of the dead to fly to the tower where Wanda is with America. He gives her a hilarious pump-up speech as a decaying, rotting corpse. I can only imagine this was Raimi's way of injecting his brand of humor, as opposed to the far too self-aware jokes that we keep getting in these movies. Chavez fights Wanda before bringing her to another reality where those Wanda's kids see her as the monster she is. 616 Wanda, being devastated, chooses to destroy herself and the dark arts she's meddled with. A rather tragic end to one of the best characters of the MCU. Tragic, unless you're one of the people she mind-controlled to fulfill her deranged happy family fantasy, or the dearly departed Illuminati, that is. Vision is jarringly written out of the movie almost completely. Wanda just wants to be with her boys, but in all the different realities, we never see Vision. I'm not sure exactly why that choice was made, especially after watching WandaVision. It's weird that Wanda barely even mentions Vision at all. I suppose it was done to keep the story focused on Wanda, and Vision would have been too much to add to this poor man's Terminator story, but it could have been better explained at least. As for Doctor Strange, he goes through the movie looking to connect with a woman he loves and doesn't. He doesn't fight Wanda in the finale, and his arc ends up being to get Chavez to believe in herself to fight Wanda. Pretty weak for a movie that bears his name. Overall, there's enough here worth seeing, especially if you're a Raimi fan. The amount of skulls, zombies, ghosts, deadites, and other forces of the damned gives the movie a refreshing tonal shift and aesthetic. Scarlet Witch is great as she spirals into darkness. A great score with superb use of the electric guitar by Danny Elfman. The fight between 616 Strange and 838 Strange using musical notes was brilliant and must have been a dream for Elfman to work on. It fails in parts, but its highs make it much more enjoyable than any of the aforementioned trilogy of mid. Thanks for watching, folks. If you want to hear my thoughts on the redemption of the MCU's Spider-Man in No Way Home, click over to your left. Or if you want to check out my latest video, click to your right. Stay blessed.